Hello. What is up, guys? Welcome to our training on Tuesday. So every single Tuesday, we do a training live inside of our Women in Sales Facebook group. Just so I can make sure that this training is actually relevant, please drop in the chat below what you sell. You do a hashtag live, just what you sell, so I can make today's training actually relevant to you. And we are here with Nick. What's up, Nick? Thanks for being here with me today as we figure all this out. Today's training is specifically about understanding what to do in the beginning of a sales call. So we have some health insurance in here. All right. Video's looking good. Good. Perfect. Yeah, drop in here what you sell. Someone says I sell marijuana live. Hey, what's up? Let's go. B2B, flooring rep, coaching, business compliance, logistics. All right, all over the place. So how do we learn how to make somebody feel safe and willing to open up to us within the first few seconds of a sales call? Now, whether you're in B2B or B2C, our intention is that we need to make sure somebody feels like they can let their guard down. And the way that we do that is by disarming them. So we want to understand what to do and what not to do when it comes to sales calls. Now, sales calls can be all over the place. Maybe you cold call people. Maybe you call warm leads. Maybe you're in B2B sales. Maybe you're in B2C sales. So it's all going to depend based on your industry as well as based off of what you are doing. But the very first few seconds of a sales call is really important because we're trying to do three things. Look at my little board over here. Like, can I use this? Wow. We're trying to do three things, right? The first one is we're trying to establish. Can I pick a color? Oh my God, this is so fun. I like this board. It's called a vibe board. It's so exciting. So the very first thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to establish connection. We're trying to establish connection with the very first few seconds of a call. Can't see that. There we go. Establish connection. We are also trying to do this really important thing, which is build trust. To show that you are the trusted authority. You showcase that you're the trusted authority through your tone, through the quality of your questions. And then you are setting the tone for the rest of the call. So most people in sales have been taught to do this really, really great thing, which is, hi, they call somebody, hi, yes, this is Kayla. I'm calling you from XYZ company. And the reason why I'm calling you today, Larry, is because, and then you get hung up on. And why it doesn't work is because every single person nowadays is a lot more educated and more informed than ever before. It is so easy for you to go onto Google and make a Google search about a company that you're looking into, about reviews that they had, about anything that's going on. Like, you have that information at the grasp of your fingertips. You have all that information. And so people are more educated, they're more on alert, and this is one of the most non-trusting generations that are out there, and that is due to a lot of sleaziness in sales that happened in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. There was so much sleaziness, right? So many people that were out just to make a sale versus actually trying to help solve people's problems, or maybe they were doing it in a way that was disingenuous. And so people are on red alert. And when you call somebody and you make them feel like you're out just to sell them, or you make them feel like you're there to take something from them, they're going to put their guard up. They're either going to be in fight mode or flight mode. They're going to argue with you, or they're going to want to get off the call. So what we have to do is we have to establish a connection with this person as fast as possible and get them to drop their guard, right? And so let's talk about like a more personal way, an impactful way to begin our calls. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I do think it's important to notice that there's a difference between skill and motivating yourself, right? Like I could talk about personal motivation all the time, but like if I motivate you all day long, it's not going to give you the skills that are actually necessary in order for you to receive results. Just like if you were just going to be only working on your skills all day, it's not going to really help you be motivated to do it, right? So I definitely think it's a combination of both. I don't know why this live keeps ending. All right. No, discard. Yes. Let's go live again. See if it works this time. And go live. Okay, let's see if it works that time. So I want to establish connection as fast as possible with these people, and that's going to be due to my tone and how I'm responding. Let's say I'm in B2B. Yeah, and yeah, IG is going in and out. I don't know why. I just reestablished it. Let's see if it works this time. I'm not sure why. So let's say I'm in B2B sales. Like, what is my intention? What am I going after? If I have a list of people versus a list that I'm creating myself, meaning I'm calling cold, I'm going to approach it very differently. So let's give you just a few examples. I was talking to somebody today who is in the business of selling tech to hospitality industries. Yeah, I don't know why Instagram is going in and out. So if you're on Instagram, join us on TikTok or join us on the Women in Sales Facebook group or on LinkedIn or on YouTube. So a lot of different places so you can get this training because it keeps going in and out. All right, there we go. So she calls cold, right? And so we were talking about like how to get past a gatekeeper, how to get somebody to be willing to drop their guards to where they want to listen to you, because their intention is not to like screw you over. It's just that they are busy, right? Like they have things going on, and there's other trainings in here on cold calling that you can go into. But I just want to have you understand like what you're trying to do. So the first thing is I need to do some type of pattern interrupt if I'm calling cold. So I'm going to just go over cold leads, right? What to do, the difference there. Let's say I'm going to call like outbound from an ad, right? Somebody that put in their information. They don't know when you're calling, but they know someone's going to call them. Like we'll go over that. Okay. And I might throw in another example on there. Okay. So if it's a cold lead, I need to do a pattern interrupt because this person has no idea that I'm calling them and they're busy with their day, and I need them to realize that there's some type of pain point in order for them to be curious enough, right? My outcome is to get them in a state of curiosity, curious enough to listen to me. Okay. So a good example of this, she told me that she's calling hotels. So she goes and looks up this person's information on LinkedIn, goes and calls them, and is trying to get past a gatekeeper. She calls and asks if somebody's available. It gets transferred over to this person, and she answers the phone. We don't want to say, hi, my name is so-and-so with this and this company. Hey, this is what I do, and go into product pushing mode. Right? You pushing the product or talking about the features, the benefits, or how it's going to help somebody is almost like a really thirsty dude at a bar coming up to you and telling you why he's so great and why you should go home with him that night, right? Like it's super distasteful and you're going to be shut down. It's also inappropriate. It feels weird. It's weird. Right? So how do you come in with the sense of making this person feel curious? The way to do this cold would be for you to say something along the lines of, hey, Sally? Hey, who is this? Right? Hey, Sally? Noticing my tone is more curious. Yeah, who's this? Yeah, this is just Kayla, and look, I don't even know if you're the right person I should be reaching out to this for or not. I was wondering if you could possibly help me out for a minute. Okay, I'm trying to spark a sense of curiosity. That's it. A sense of curiosity. And what people perceive from you is based on a few things: your cadence, your tone, and what you're saying, the quality of the questions and statements that you're saying. So if I want her to be perceiving me as like, what is that? I'm curious. I'm going to have to be in a skeptical tone, in a confused tone, and I'm going to have to slow down. Now, I had someone comment the other day, they're like, Kayla, you say I'm in Toastmasters and you're not supposed to do that. I've been in Toastmasters as well. I completely understand that you're not supposed to do that. However, in a sales conversation, when my intention is trying to get this person to be curious, I don't want to come as like the expert within the first few seconds. I want to spark a sense of curiosity by just like downplaying the call, downplaying why I'm calling. I'm chill. Like, look, Sally, I don't even know if you're the right person I should be reaching out to about this. Could you possibly help me out for a minute? Human behavior, what we want to do is automatically help somebody. That's what we want to do. We want to help, right? Yeah, how can I help you? Okay. And again, this is going to be specific to your industry, but I would be talking about some type of pain point. So in this case, with hospitality hotels, it would be something on the lines of, yeah, you know how, most hotels have an onboarding or have XYZ happening that might be causing using neutral languaging, like might be, possibly, could be, that might be causing you to have a high turnover rate and losing money every single month. So again, depending on your industry, calling cold. Do you know how something along the lines of what they do could be causing some type of pain point? Okay. So you know how X, Y, Z could be, possibly, maybe causing pain. A pain point, their pain point. Their pain point. Right? Not my pain point, their pain point. What we do is we actually come in and we fix so that you don't have this anymore, or so that you can. What we do? So you can, and you can have a future moment, or like the objective state of what they're wanting. Okay. That way we can just bring them down to results-based thinking, right? I don't need them to think about the price. I don't need them to think about the product. I don't need them to think about anything except the pain point that they're currently having and the objective state or the future state that they actually want. Do you know how most hotels, or do you know how most whatever people in their industry have XYZ going on that could be causing this? What we do is, so that you can, and again, super short, simple, to the point. You only have a few seconds of this person's time, and you lead into possibly having a conversation. I don't know if this would be helpful, and I don't know if we can even help you yet, right? I'm not trying to get them to get my help. My God, my words are failing me today. I'm detached from the outcome. I don't need it. I don't need the sale. Look, I don't know if we can even help you yet. Would it be supportive if I asked you a few questions to see if we could help? And at that point, like, if we can, I'm happy to have a further conversation. And if not, we could simply hang up the phone, or I'm happy to refer you to somebody that could help. Now, why am I saying that? Oh my God, I would refer them to somebody else. It shows that I don't care about the sale. Like, I don't need it, right? So that's why I'm doing that. So that's cold. That's an example of cold. The whole thing that I want to get through your head is that your tonality and your self-control are going to be the biggest thing here. If you're all nervous and you're shaky on the call, it's going to come across that way. It's going to sound really bad. It's going to sound like you're needy. And if you need to practice this 100 times before you call somebody live, like, I would do it. Okay. Let's give an example for like a B2C. Let's say somebody calls you from an ad, right? Let's say this person booked an ad, and I'm in network marketing, and I posted an ad about possibly getting somebody to want to join their business with me, right? I don't know. And I'm calling this person. I'm not going to be like, hey, Sally, yeah, I just saw you, you're booked on, an ad about this, and yeah, I'm so excited to talk to you, and blah, blah. Womp, womp, womp. No enthusiasm, none of that. We're here as the trusted expert. We're here because we care about Sally, and we're trying to see if there's even a sale to be made in the first place. Just because they clicked on an ad does not mean that they're going to buy from you. So we have to come with the intention of serving and with the intention of trying to figure out if there's any sale there to be made in the first place. So I'm going to call Sally. Hey, Sally. Yeah, this is just Kayla. It looks like you had booked a call on my calendar about, actually, let's go back because that's a lot of call. Yeah, hey, Sally. This is just Kayla. It looks like you clicked on an ad yesterday about possibly wanting to start your own business so that you can make X amount of dollars. Yeah, I just had a few minutes before my next call to get back to you. Is now a good time? Just so simple, straight to the point, right? I'm saying a couple things here. First thing I need to do is disarm, right? The whole point that I'm trying to make this person, I'm trying to make them feel curiosity. This person, I'm just trying to make them feel safe. That's literally it. Like, I'm just trying to make this person feel safe. Like, hi, I'm on your team. You clicked on something. I'm calling you to support you. Like, that's it. I don't need anything from you. I'm just here to support you. I'm using words like, this is just Kayla. Why am I saying just Kayla? Because it's like kind of like, hey, this is just your Auntie KK. My nephew calls me KK. This is just me. I'm like, you know me. I'm somebody that you know, right? Hey, Sally. Hey, who is this? Yeah, this is just Kayla. It looks like, I want to say looks like, and then tell them where you got their number from. There's nothing worse than somebody calling you and they don't communicate how they got your information. Okay? So if you're a cold caller, that's why you have to do a pattern interrupt. So they don't think about that. They're thinking about something else. This, we're telling them exactly where we got the information. And the more specific you are, the better. The more specific you are, the better, right? So, hey, Sally, this is just Kayla. It looks like you clicked on an ad yesterday about XYZ so that you can do ABC. Again, results-based thinking, right? It looks like you clicked on an ad, whatever the action is, about XYZ so that you can, what outcome do they want? Do ABC. Looks like you click on an ad about, possibly wanting to open your own business so that you can make more money, right? Super simple, results-based thinking. The next thing you want to do is say that you're busy. I just had a few minutes before my next call to reach out to you. And what does that say? It says we're only going to be on here for a couple minutes. And then you go into the next part. Is now a good time? Or is now a bad time? Right? Just give permission. No, it's not a bad time. And then your next question would be, when you went through the ad, what prompted you to click on it in the first place so I could have a better understanding? And now you understand their intent, right? So the first few minutes of a sales call is, first of all, lowering their guard, understanding their intent, and then having you be seen or viewed as a trusted authority. And that's only going to be done through the quality of your questions and through your tonality and how you're holding yourself together, right? So it's like first 3 minutes, you need to drop their guard. Then we need to get their intent. And the third would be to establish that you're a trusted authority. Boom. So how do we do this in a way that actually feels human and doesn't feel disingenuous, doesn't feel inauthentic, doesn't feel awful? I want you to be able to have techniques that make your prospects feel heard and feel understood by you. Like, it doesn't have to feel inauthentic. It doesn't have to feel awkward. And there's a way that you can do this. Number one is to have empathy, which, my ladies, you automatically already have this. When you're calling somebody, if you're having fear coming up at you and you're like, oh God, we gotta call this person. Oh crap. And you're ringing. Have you all ever had that moment when you're calling? It's like ring, ring, ring. And then they actually answer the phone and you're like, oh, hi, this is so-and-so. Oh my gosh. Yes, they were recorded. They are in the Facebook group. So if you ever had that moment and it feels so awkward, you're like, oh God, oh God, oh God, they're going to answer the phone. How do you get into your heart as fast as possible to get out of your head? Because if you can learn to like get rid of how you view yourself and how people are thinking about you, it's going to be so easy to serve the person in front of you. So empathy, right? Like trying to understand where someone's coming from, like feeling what they feel. So if you can just drop into telling yourself like there is another person on the end of this phone, or there's another person on the Zoom in front of me. Like if you can see them, look into their eyes. This person in front of you or this person you're listening to has had really great moments in their life. They've probably loved, or they've had really horrible moments in their life, lost somebody, been hurt, somebody broke their heart. Like they've been through ups and downs. They have moments that they're really grateful for, things that make them happy, things that make them sad. Like they're a real human. And anytime you start worrying about, oh my God, am I doing this right? If you can just remember that they're a real person and just tap into like caring about them, it's going to help you so much more. Number two is asking questions that open the conversation versus questions that trigger resistance, which mean, my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. My words today are just so beautiful. I love stumbling over my words. It's awesome. This is my humility coming out. I get to work on dropping my ego about that. Yay. All right. Asking questions that open the conversation versus asking questions that trigger sales resistance or that they're too vague. So surface level questions lead to surface level answers, right? So I want to ask questions that engage conversation. Like, what was it about the ad that really attracted you to click on it in the first place? Let's say you're having a conversation with somebody and it's a sales call and you already know that you're getting on a sales call with them. They booked on your calendar. Maybe a question that would engage conversation could be, Sally, what were you hoping to get out of this call? Just so I have a better understanding of how to support you. I love that question. It engages conversation, right? Now, mastering this is all going to be about your tone. I can ask the same question a different way. Sally, like, what were you hoping to get out of this conversation today, just so I have a better understanding to help you? Jeez, it's so fast. If I can just say it and slow it down. Sally, what were you really hoping to get out of this conversation today, just so I have a better understanding of how to support you? Wow, right? It's like two different things, but I'm saying the same thing. And then actively listening. If you ask a question, pause and wait for an answer. And listen to what they're saying. Not thinking in your mind, oh my gosh, what should I ask next? Or hey, I'm going to ask this or going to say this and I'm going to do this. I see this a lot with objection handling with my ladies. Somebody gives you an objection and then you go straight into objection handling mode before you listen. What if you just took a moment to like count in your head if you need to practice on this, to just count before you respond. Or bigger than that, if you can just cut off your brain for 1 second, all that internal dialogue, and just pay attention to what this person's saying. And when you get better at it, you can pay attention to what they mean by what they say. They're giving you tells. And every single one of you ladies, if you're watching, you're a woman, you are a private FBI investigator. Like, you know when something's wrong. All my mamas, you have your kid telling you something, you have that sixth sense. Like, you know when someone's lying. You are intuitive, you have it, right? And so utilize that in sales. When you know that you have superpowers and you can figure out what's going on, just sit back and watch them tell you what's going on. They might tell you, a great example the other day we talked about, if you sold a fitness offer. Let's say somebody started off and you're on a phone call, you don't see them, and they say, hey, I just want to lose 10 pounds. And the whole time you're talking about losing 10 pounds, but in actuality, they wanted to lose 50, but they were too embarrassed to tell you that. And I feel comfortable talking about that because I literally gained 68 pounds with my daughter. And so I know what it's like having nothing fit, and including in sweatpants, and feeling super miserable, right? So if you had that superpower, that intuition going on, when they said 10 pounds, maybe they said it in a different way. Maybe their tonality conveyed to you that maybe that's not what's really going on. If you're on a Zoom call and someone tells you something and they look sideways or they look away or they're super uncomfortable, then people's eyes will tell you everything. I had a conversation with a woman the other day, really uncomfortable conversation. She was looking away the entire time. Right? I'm just observing and I'm responding to how they are talking. I'm responding, right? I'm holding space for them. I need them to learn how to persuade themselves. I cannot tell them what's going on, right? I cannot tell them what to do. They have to tell themselves. It's the same thing if you have a girlfriend of yours that's dating a really awful dude, right? He's really rude to her. He treats her bad. If I tell her that dude is a troll, like, stop dating him, it's not going to be perceived very well. Like, she will not take it that well. But if I start asking her questions and just listen to her, not only is she telling me about the problem, she's telling herself what's going on. And that's a way she can start persuading herself. So start listening. Like, if you're not actively listening, like, you are losing, right? And then the last point that we're going to go over today is using the right tonality, which we just talked about a little bit. People perceive you based off of the tone. They perceive what you mean based off of the tone that you give. Let's say you're talking to your kid and she's making you angry. An example of this the other day, my daughter, she's 11, was taking her to school that morning, right? Taking her to school that morning, we're getting out the door. She's freaking tired and she's grumpy, so grumpy. If anyone has like little pre-teenagers with all these emotions in their bodies, like, you know what I'm talking about right now. She's grumpy and we're like trying to get out the door. We have all our stuff at the door. I'm like, hi, did you brush your teeth? She's like, oh my gosh. So we're going there. She's brushing her teeth. She comes all the way back, and homegirl and I are at the elevator, and she goes to me and she's like, where's my lunch? I'm sorry, did you say your lunch? Like, why would I have your lunch? Like, is it my responsibility now to be your lunchbox carrier, right? Like, all these things are coming in my head, right? And I'm like, that's okay. Like, we'll just go back. We'll get the lunch. We go back. And she has like her skirt. It's like up. And I'm like, hey, you need to pull down your shorts. And she's just like, like giving me all this attitude. And I'm like, what is with your attitude this morning? When I could very well have just leaned in, put my hand on my heart, which body language to a child shows that I care. Claire, like, is everything okay with you this morning? Like, what's up with the attitude? Said basically the same thing, completely different way. It's perceived a completely different way. And I think that parenthood definitely teaches you so many lessons in life, and that you can absolutely use these in your sales process. when people are saying something, like, how do you want them to perceive what you're saying? Because sales is not about you. It's about them being able to realize that they need to make a change. And throughout your process, right? Like, we teach NEPQ, stands for Neuro Emotional Persuasion questioning. We first connect with these people, and then we take them through an engagement stage where we ask them situation questions, problem awareness questions, solution awareness questions, right? We get them to where they're at, their situation, current situation, their current state, all the way to their objective state. And through the quality of our questions, the quality of our tone, it creates this beautiful gap. It creates this gap. And the bigger the gap is, the more somebody wants to change. And so if you don't know how to have self-control with your tonality, it's very hard to create this efficiently. If you can learn one thing, just like one thing, like literally change help me go from making $15K a month to $35K plus a month, was my tone. Like, that was all I changed, was just my tone. And it freaking changed everything, because it's self-control, slowing down. And the last part about that is that it makes your prospects feel heard, and it makes them have a sense of curiosity, because they're going to let their guard down, to be open, to be willing to observe what's going on, right? Like, they're going to be willing to do so. So the first few minutes of your call are really, really important. You got to learn how to get someone to drop their guard, open up to you, give you their intent, make sure that they have a reason as to why they want to be on this call, right? Whether you're placing that intent in them, like a cold call, and you're telling them about pain that they might not know that they had, now they're willing to have a conversation, or whether they already booked a call and they're telling you why they're there. And then seeing you as the trusted authority, which means the quality of your questions, right? As well as your tonality and your cadence there. Sales is a really beautiful thing. I hope that everyone here can learn, can grow. You have to learn how to navigate resistance. People don't all the time just open up to you. Their walls are up, and your masterful skill levels can be able to help lower those walls to where they're wanting to open up to you just in the first few minutes of a call. They're going to automatically feel connected to you and trust you based on your tonality and based on the questions that you're asking. I want my team. Oh, yeah. Hold on, let me see. So if you want my team to give you feedback about your sales process in your industry right now, just DM me that you want feedback, or you want to hop on a role play call with us. Me or one of my head coaches, we will hop on a call with you. We will give you feedback on your tone or your objection handling, or like whatever is going on for you right now. Like, our intention is to serve you and support you and be there for you. I feel like so many women are freaking working their butts off, and they're not getting the results that they're so willing and so deserving of having, just because they're missing the right information, or they were taught the wrong way, or they don't freaking believe in themselves. And if I can support you anyway, helping you acquire more skills, or just helping you realize how freaking worthy and important you are, I'm happy to do either. Please DM me. Yes. Yeah, please DM me. We'll hop on a 10-15 minute call, either myself or someone on our team. Happy to support you. I honor you guys. Love you. If you need anything from us, please message us. I will see you on the next training. Please send with your friends, share, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.